Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Max Sanchez. I'm joined here by my partner Cameron Castillo, and we're broadcasting to you live, courtesy of LCPS TV, from Aggie Memorial Stadium here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, where a huge rivalry in this city and across the nation is about to be resparked between the Las Cruces High School Bulldogs. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Max Sanchez. I'm joined here by my partner Cameron Castillo, and we're broadcasting to you live from Aggie Memorial Stadium here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, where a huge rivalry is about to be resparked between the Las Cruces High School Bulldogs and the Mayfield Trojans, once considered the number 2 rivalry in the entire nation. And for such an exciting game, Cameron, we have some pretty terrible weather.
Absolutely, Max. First of all, it's great to be here with you tonight for another edition of Friday Night Lights in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And this is a big one. Like you said before, the number 2 rivalry not only in the state of New Mexico, but in the entire nation. And like you said before, I don't know what the city of Las Cruces did to make Mother Nature mad at us tonight, because this weather is absolutely terrible. I think I read the forecast earlier, and it said 35 to 40 mile an hour winds, thunderstorms throughout the night, and even maybe a tornado warning here and there.
It is very, very crazy, Karen. But let me tell you what, that certainly hasn't stopped these 2 student sections from showing up. They are very, very hyped to see both of these teams play tonight. And even though Cruces is coming into this game 8-1 over Mayfield, who have a much worse record, I mean, I certainly think that anything can happen in a rivalry game.
Absolutely, Max. And despite Mayfield's record at 5-4, and while Cruces has a perfect district record, in these rivalry games like this late in the season, it doesn't really matter. You'll see all the tenacity and the drive from the football team, if you're a Mayfield fan, that you want to see and that you expected to see all season long. That's going to come out tonight because it's a rivalry game. It's so special. 30,000 people packed the stands here at Aggie Memorial Stadium to watch a high school football game in southern New Mexico. It's a great atmosphere, and both of these teams are excited to play tonight.
Indeed, and I'm sure head coach for Cruces, Mark Lopez, is ready to take on his rival Mike Bradley on the other side of the field. Now, considering the fact, Cameron, that we are at Aggie Memorial Stadium at New Mexico State University, we have a couple guys on the Mayfield side of the ball who are actually committed to go here. Now, we have Gavin Swenson here. He's already committed to NMSU. And I'm sorry, Tori Laughlin actually has a standing offer from the Aggies as well.
That's right, Max, and you never know. These two could be hooking up in a few years here on the Division I playing field at Aggie Memorial Stadium. I love what I see when I watch Gavin Swenson play. He's a great route runner, but most of all, out of all the fundamentals of being a wide receiver, he does a great job of high-pointing the football, targeting it, and winning those 50-50 balls over the defensive backs. Now, Tori Laughlin does a great job. He has a lot of poise and moxie, if you will. I like to use that word, moxie, in the pocket. He's very calm, cool, and collected down there, and he's not afraid to keep his eyes downfield, and if nothing's down there, he'll check it down to his running back.
Exactly, Cameron. I know that when we were watching the Centennial game, I mean, they were just dropping dimes over that defense. Now, along with Gavin and his quarterback, Tor, we also have Isaac Vance, and he hasn't been particularly as good this season as past seasons before, but he is also committed to go play football at Kent State.
That's right, Max, and do not sleep on number 6, the tailback, Isaac Vance. There are reasons why he's committed to go to school for free to play football at Kent State University in Ohio. His dad is actually a member of the coaching staff here at New Mexico State. Comes from a long line of great football players in his family. His older brother played at Kent State, and I expect to see a lot out of him tonight for this rivalry game.
Certainly a kid with a ton of potential, Cameron, and I believe that I believe very much so that this is going to be a shootout tonight on the Aggies' home field. Now, let's take things to the Cruces side of the ball. They have quarterback Peyton Ball, who is favorite target Ivan Molina, number 11, is going to be down there tonight. That kid has a fantastic vertical and speed, Cameron.
That's right, Max. Ivan Molina only stands about 5'7", but his vertical is remarkable, and his speed and agility, he reminds me of some of the greatest college and NFL players that we see, like a Braxton Miller or a Cole Beasley, the slot receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He leads the team with 1,018 receiving yards. He's an 1,000-yard receiver as a sophomore in high school, Max. This kid is something special. I can't wait to watch him tonight.
Cameron, that is completely insane. I mean, pure unadulterated talent right there. Now, just to take things back to a more emotional standpoint, I mean, this is the Cruces Mayfield game, Cameron. We grow up, the first question that they ask you is red or green, and the second is Cruces or Mayfield.
That's exactly right, Max. That's a great way of putting it, man. I didn't really think about that, but that's right. Two high schools that have been here forever. Everyone is either a Cruces fan or a Mayfield fan. Even if you go to Centennial and Yate, everyone always has ties to the Cruces Bulldogs or to the Mayfield Trojans. It should be a good one tonight, and I can't wait to see this electric atmosphere.
Completely, Cameron. Electric is a fantastic way to put it, especially considering that there might be a storm on its way.
That's right, Max. Hopefully the storm doesn't hit us too hard. I think our friends over there in El Paso, went ahead and got some pretty bad hail today. Hopefully we don't see anything like that tonight. So far, no rain, just a lot of wind. Hopefully it'll hold off.
All right, so we're going to take a brief intermission here. We'll be back with you after the bands are going to come down here and give you guys a fantastic performance. We'll be back in a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome the Las Cruces High School Marching Band. For tonight's performance, the showcase of Las Cruces Marching Band, performing the 2016 competition production titled Revolutions. The instrumental soloists for tonight's performance are Andy Cowie on trombone, Matt Torres on clarinet, and Jeffrey Lansford on tenor sax. This ensemble is under the direction of Jordan Sayer and is assisted by Arnold Rose. The showcase staff are orchestra director Jennifer Rogers, color guard instructors Emily Thiessen and Dee Dee Harvey, assisted by Rachel Riley. Percussion technical, Newell Ramsey, marching staff members Sharon Colossus, Charlie Mueller, and Kayla Rubin. The visual designer and arrangers are Jim Divas and Edwin Parker. band representative. Please report to the PA booth. for tonight's game, referee Oscar Payet. Linesman Martin Martinez. Umpire Charles Devine. Line judge J.E. Wells. And back judge Mike Rundell. We have two cars in lot number 30, a beige Pontiac. License plate number NM NRT 609. NRT 609. New Mexico plate, beige Pontiac, and a Ford F-150, New Mexico plate, PH6497. You have to move your cars or they will be towed.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Max Sanchez, joined by my partner Cameron Castillo. We're broadcasting to you live here at Aggie Memorial Stadium, where the Las Cruces High Bulldogs are about to take on the Mayfield Trojans. Now, we have about 4:50 left till kickoff, and just to give you a quick rundown of some of the previous district games both these teams have been involved in. Now, the Las Cruces High Bulldogs played Oñate last week, and Cameron, they were absolutely crushing them in the first half, 28-0.
Max, that's absolutely right. It got ugly. We were calling the game last Friday night, and I believe, like you said, a 4-touchdown lead was what Cruces built up against the Knights. There early in the second quarter, Oñate did come back, but Cruces was able to ward off that great Oñate comeback last week. We saw Cruces start quickly and start fast 2 weeks ago against the Centennial Hawks. Cruces came out and put up a 23-0 lead. We'll see if the Cruces Bulldogs come out tonight and score quickly and hold Mayfield like they have the past two games.
Yeah, that certainly could be a potential motif for both teams, Cameron. I know that Mayfield came out on fire when Centennial played them a couple weeks back, and I mean, we'll see. I mean, if you come out really fire and you start putting up like 4 touchdowns to nothing against your opponent, that can be great. But when all of your starters are worn out, the tides can start to turn.
That's right, Max. All the hype, all the emotion, all the intensity that surrounds this rivalry and this rivalry week is going to come out on this football field tonight, and it would be a shock and a real kick in the head to each one of these teams if the other one scores quickly and they don't have a way to respond to it.
For sure, Cameron. Now, I'd just like to give a quick shout-out to our partners over at Corner Deli. Mark down there, he is a huge Trojan fan, so all you Mayfield fans can go down there and grab a sandwich after the game. And for all of you Cruces fans who don't want to see the Mayfield fans at Corner Deli, you guys can head over to Lorenzo's and hit up Vince for some awesome pizza.
That's right, Max. Thank you to our sponsors for continuously hooking us up throughout the season. We have great community partners here in Las Cruces. We all kind of rally around each other when it comes to athletics, specifically high school football here. And that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, tonight we're seeing all these people kind of pack in after they were huddling in their cars for the past hour and a half because it's so cold and windy over here. It's going to be an exciting atmosphere tonight.
There's absolutely no doubt about that, Cameron. And like I was talking about before, I think this will be a very, 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 very pass-heavy shootout tonight. Mayfield side, they have Isaac Vance and Gavin Swinson, while on Las Cruces side, they have Peyton Balls throwing it out to Ivan Molina. Now, real quick, we're just going to go down to the field for the Pledge of Allegiance, the national anthem in honor of our great country. Now, folks, with about a minute left to go until we kick off this fantastic rivalry, quick shout out to the Mayfield High School Band for that fantastic national anthem right there. I mean, this is the United States of America High School Friday Night Football, Cameron. That's what it's all about.
Max, that's exactly right. I just want to say one thing right before kickoff. Last year, the Mayfield Trojans beat the Cruces Bulldogs right here on this field by a score of 56-27. 56-27, that's a lot of points. I'm sure that left a bad taste in the mouth of those Las Cruces high school football players. They want to come out swinging tonight because they have such a big chip on their shoulder.
Indeed, I'm sure they're coming out here angry to get back their dub, Cameron. I mean, as I was saying before, Las Cruces, I'm sure, is favored by many in this game, but, I mean, anything can happen in a rivalry.
That's exactly right, Max. Should be good. Looks like the Mayfield football team's going to be coming out right about now. While the color guard's still on the field. That's okay.
That's all right. The clock is winding down. Mayfield's coming out right now. The Trojans are about to take the field right here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. State University of New Mexico. Shout out to them for letting us broadcast here every year. This is Marie and Cameron's first time, and it's going to be a great experience for sure. Many more to come. And now Las Cruces High Bulldogs are coming out of the tunnel as well. Waving the American flag right there. Juiced up to take on their opponents. You can see both these student sections are always hype.
Max, just one more thing about the weather, man. The wind. We're standing right next to each other and we're indoors. There's a slight crack in the window and I can barely hear you because this wind, ladies and gentlemen, here at Aggie Memorial Stadium is so ferocious and intense. It's probably at about 40 miles an hour right now. Could play a factor in the kicking game tonight, Max. We've seen, for example, Las Cruces high kicker number 3, Gabe Quesada, be nearly perfect on the air and extra points, 43 of 44. But tonight, because this wind is so ferocious, the goalposts are swaying back and forth. Could be a different result.
And even more so, Cameron, I like to talk. I mean, both of these teams are very, very pass heavy, and we're talking how it's probably going to be a shootout. But they might have to resort to their running backs more tonight because, I mean, if that wind keeps blowing, Torrey Laughlin and Peyton Ball aren't going to be able to connect as easily.
That's right, Max, and both these teams do like to throw the ball. For Cruces to Brandon Baeza and Ivan Molina, and for Mayfield to guys like Austin C. and Gavin Swenson. They might have to turn to the running backs, but hey, for both teams, if you really think about it, that wouldn't be a horrible option just because these two running backs for both schools are so talented, being Isaac Vance and Ryan Beltran for Mayfield and Cruces respectively.
Exactly, Cameron. I mean, we've seen ton of success. I mean, when you just play solid conservative football, Cameron, just wear down that front seven of your opponent. I mean, you don't need to get tricky, especially here at the high school level. Just keep pushing. You're going to get points on the board.
That's right, Max, and that's one of the things that we've seen from Oñate, the Oñate Knights throughout the year. They love that triple option threat, running the ball, the ground and pound between the tackles type offense, and it's worked well for them all season. Because of this horrible weather, these teams might have to resort to that type of play calling tonight.
Exactly. Mike Bradley should certainly try that out, Cameron. I mean, that's basically how Oñate pounded back after they were down by a 4-touchdown deficit against Cruces in that game the other week.
That's right, Max. It proved to be a little bit of a weakness by the Cruces Bulldogs front seven. They couldn't hold off that strong Oñate rushing attack for very long. Same with Mayfield. 2 weeks ago when Oñate played Mayfield, they had a hard time stopping the run of Sal Yanez and Matt Young. See if the running games are affected by the defensive play, especially in the front seven in tonight's game.
It certainly wouldn't surprise me, Cameron. Both teams are going to come onto the field for kickoff right now. Cruces is going to be kicking off, and Mayfield will return the ball tonight. Start this thing off. I am very, very excited. I don't know about you, Cameron.
Absolutely. This should be fun. Here we go, man.
Certainly will be. Once more, my name is Max Sanchez, joined by my partner Cameron Castillo. We're broadcasting to you live, courtesy of LCPS TV. Now Gabe Quezada is going to come right out here, kick off this fantastic rivalry, which everyone in this city loves. Quezada is going to send it downfield, up in the air. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be taken back into the end zone for a touchback for Mayfield. Now Torrey Laughlin's going to come out here and start at his own 20-yard line.
We'll see if they turn to Isaac Vance early on, Max. In the first few games of the season, save for the Del Norte game, Isaac Vance wasn't much of a threat because he was limited due to a lower body injury. but throughout the season, as it has progressed, he has gotten the ball more often. Looks like they're going to start an empty set here.
It's interesting. Now Laughlin's going to line up in the shotgun pretty far back. Trips out to his left side. He's looking out to his left. He's scrambling. He's going to be sacked on the very first play of the game. That will be a loss of 5, Cameron. Great job by that Cruces front 7.
Max, what a great way. What a great exclamation point to start this bitter rivalry game. You saw on that play right there, the Cruces defensive coordinator chose to blitz 2 of his linebackers through the B gaps right in between the guard and tackles on both sides of the ball there, and it worked. They got to Laughlin before he could even make a decision as to what he was going to do on the play.
Very early momentum shift, Cameron. Now Mayfield's going to have it second and 15 now. Laughlin line back up once again in the shotgun. Now he is going to take the ball, hands it off. Running back is pushing forward. He breaks through. He's at the 40-yard line, still going. And that was number 6, Isaac Vance for the Trojans. Cameron, he's certainly going to prove himself tonight, it's looking like.
Absolutely, Max. Great job there by Isaac Vance. I'm surprised that number 2, the defensive back for Cruces High, Kennedy Aliman, was able to bring him down there near the 50-yard line, because Isaac Vance has that Division I speed, which is why Kent State recruited him to play football there.
And that is going to move the chains for the Trojans on the second overall play of the game after that unfortunate sack. We got 11 minutes left to go in this first quarter right now. I think they're having some technical difficulties on the Aggie
That's right,
scoreboard.
Max. They can't get that ball to stay down.
That's right. 1st and 10 once again. Laughlin's going to take in the shotgun. And he hands it off once again to Vance, who's still pushing forward. And that will be a gain of about 3 yards on the carry.
You know, Max, we saw the very ambitious play by Cruces High School defensive coordinator Jason Salas there on the first play, choosing to blitz both of his linebackers through that B gap. But with that kind of slap in the face that Isaac Vance gave them on the very next play, a little bit more conservative, basic play calling by the defensive coordinator.
That's all it takes. Laughlin lined up again in the shotgun. Box is stacked. He's going to hand it off once again to Vance, who's running up the left side of the field. He's still pushing forward. That will be a first down for the Mayfield Trojans. There's a flag down there, Cameron. Not sure what it was for. What do you think?
I'm not sure, Max. That looks like it could be in the potential area of holding. We'll see if the Trojans were guilty of a hold there.
I'm not exactly sure if that was Vance, Cameron.
It was Isaac Vance, and he was tackled by the talented sophomore standout Ivan Molina. He kind of got run over there a little bit. Looks like we're all okay.
Certainly. Now that's going to be a holding call on Mayfield, which will take them back a little bit after that great run by Vance. We got 10-11 left to go in this first quarter here. 2nd and 7 for the Trojans.
Max, it just came over the loudspeakers here by our PA announcer that we're experiencing inclement weather effects, and everyone has just been asked to evacuate the stadium into their cars.
That's very, very unfortunate, Cameron. Now, we're not sure how this is going to turn out. I mean, Mother Nature has a plan of her own sometimes, but let's certainly hope that this rivalry game doesn't get taken down tonight, although that's certainly a possibility.
That's unfortunate, man. We're only 1 minute and 49 seconds into this great rivalry game with 10 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. Mayfield was driving, had a lot of momentum, and it looks like everyone's going to have to head back into the locker room before the game could really even get started tonight.
I know, I was pretty hyped too. Oh, well. But anyway, let's talk about what we've seen just very, very early, Cam. We're not sure if this is going to continue or not. But Isaac Vance, we talk about, he's still a fantastic player going to play football at Kent State, but he hasn't necessarily been too astonishing up to this point.
That's right, Max, and I think you could attribute some of that lack of consistency by Isaac Vance to injury. I know he was a little injury-plagued with his hamstring early on in the season, but it looks like he's juiced up and ready to go tonight. You saw him break off that long 25-yard run there on the second play of the game. We'll see if he can keep it up. But after, you have to go into the locker room and you have to kind of reset. You came out, you had all that emotion and intensity. You want to go beat your crosstown rival, and 1 minute and 50 seconds into the game, you have to stop and go back into the locker room. That has to be devastating for these kids.
Overthinking can kill, Cameron, certainly. Now both these teams are going to head back into the locker room right now. And Aggie Memorial Stadium, people are heading back to their cars. Things are being evacuated a bit. Now we still have 10-11 left to go in this first quarter. After being stopped so short, it would have been 2nd and 17 for the Trojans.
Max, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right now, make sure everything's okay with our camera crew down there on the field. We'll see you guys once this game resumes.
or B, head to the Pan Am Center practice gym. You cannot stand at the gates at the stadium. Thank you.
So just a quick update, ladies and gentlemen. We are still under a lightning delay right now, and the particular protocol they have said is that when there is a lightning strike within 10 miles, the clock is reset, and we will have to wait an additional 30 minutes. So the clock has been reset once again. We will have to wait at least an additional half hour. Now just stay tuned, and we will be back with updates later on. All right, folks, just a quick update. So now there hasn't been a lightning strike in a little while, so if things stay clear, we will restart this game at 8:30 p.m. Now, once again, we'll be restarting at 8:30 if skies stay clear. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, a quick update. So the skies have been starting to clear up. The players will take the field back for warm-ups at 8:15, and the gates will be open for spectators at 8:30. Now that is provided that nothing happens in between now and then, but so far the time is set. Players are going to be back on 8:15 once again, and the gates will be open for spectators at 8:30.
momentarily. The teams are on the field warming up, and we'll start this game. The south gates are currently open. And now the north gates are open. We ask you to please take your time, find your seat once again. No need to rush. Please take your time, be very orderly in finding your seat. Thank you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We had quite an extensive intermission due to some pretty bad weather here in the borderland. Lots of lightning strikes led to us being held off for about an hour. But when we get back onto the field, the Mayfield Trojans will have it 2nd and 17 with 10-11 left to go in the first quarter. Now, Cameron, I mean, we only saw like 2 or 3 plays before we went off to intermission, but they're certainly still relevant, and I'm sure that some of the momentum has shifted after these teams spent quite a bit of time in the locker room. Isaac Vance was running all over the Bulldogs.
That's right, Max. We'll see if he can keep it up. But like I said when we first went on that intermission, you come out here with all the emotion and intensity surrounding a rivalry game, then all of a sudden, 1 minute and 49 seconds into the game, you have to suit up and go back into the locker room. That has to take a little bit of a toll on the team's morale and momentum to start the game. So we'll see which team responded to that adversity the best. What they did in the locker room could be key in response and in relation to how they play this game.
Definitely, Cameron. An interesting night and a very exciting matchup here. Now, once again, we have 10-11 left to go in this first quarter. Now, the Mayfield Trojans are going to line up 2nd and 15 from their own 42-yard line. Torrey Laughlin is in the shotgun right now. Box is stacked. He's just looking around. All right, here we go. Laughlin. He's going to take in the shotgun. He's going to keep it running up the left side, trying to push through, and he's going to have a gain of about 5 yards on that carry. Nice quarterback keeper, Cameron. I mean, he wasn't particularly fast or shifty, but, I mean, he just found a hole and pushed through.
That's right, Max. You're not going to see a whole lot of athleticism when it comes to running the ball from Torrey Laughlin tonight, but because he's so mature and is such a great decision maker, you will see him gain an effective amount of yards when he carries the ball.
Exactly, Cameron. If your O-line can support you with those opportunities, I mean, athletic or not, you're going to make plays. And that Cruces front seven certainly has to watch out for that. Now, after that gain, it's going to be, it says 3rd and 13 up there. Laughlin is going to hand it off once again. It is going to be pushed forward. And that was Isaac Vance once again for the gain of, looks about 6 yards on the carry.
So Michael Bradley chose to go with the conservative play call there, Max. Didn't try and take any shots downfield in this horrible 40-mile-an-hour wind that we have going on right now at Aggie Memorial Stadium. Looks like they just went with the conservative play there, punted away, and hope for good field position for your defense to stop this Cruces offense.
Now, Cameron, I was a bit off. That was more like 8 yards on the carry, and that is going to set up a 4th and 5 situation.
You know, Max, I think they're going to fake it right here.
And let's see, Cameron. It certainly looks that way right now. Let's see if Mark Lopez caught on to that.
4 wide receivers wide.
It's going to be punted down here. I guess not. So we send it down, bouncing past right about the 20-yard line for Cruces. It will be down. And now Peyton Ball is going to come back out here, see if he can get that energetic Bulldog start and put some points up for Cruces. Yeah, Cameron, this Cruces offense is stacked to say the least. I mean, we have number 11, Ivan Molina, only a sophomore, but yet he has over 1,000 yards on this season. Next up, we have Brandon Baeza as well, and then Ryan Beltran.
That's right, Max. And Peyton Ball, I'm sure he wasn't expecting to get his first series this late in the night, but because of this horrible weather, he has to come back out an hour and a half later. We'll see how he responds here. Looks like they're going to go with the empty set on first down.
So I'm sure this motivation is keeping him juiced up. Now Peyton Ball by himself back there. He's going to take a look now to his left side, and he's going to be knocked away by the Trojans. That will be an incomplete pass for Ball.
Great job there of the Mayfield Trojan defensive lineman batting that down at the line of scrimmage. Interesting scheme there, Max. They only had 3 wide receivers, and then of course the quarterback in the empty set, meaning that Peyton Ball had a lot of blockers on that play. Could be a sign that Mark Lopez is worried about this Mayfield pass rush.
I certainly couldn't blame him, Cameron. I'm sure that they are very, very prepared for Peyton Ball to be shooting the ball, pardon the pun, to be shooting the ball down the field all night. Now Ball is going to take it in the shotgun once again. Box is stacked, receivers out to both sides of him, and he's going to run it forward, going out the right side of the field, still pushing, cuts back through. And that will be a gain of about 7 yards on that carry for Peyton Ball with the QB keeper.
That's a great play call there. It kind of throws them off because of the empty set. The Mayfield defense is expecting a pass. They went with the quarterback run, pulled the right guard there, who was then able to create a blocking lane for Peyton Ball on that play.
Kind of mirrored his counterpart Torrey Laughlin's play a couple minutes ago. Now we have 8:05 left to go in this fourth quarter here at Aggie Memorial. And this will set up a 3rd and 2 situation for the Cruces Bulldogs. Peyton Ball is going to keep it once again, and he's still pushing forward, and that is going to be a Cruces first down.
I like the play call there by Mark Lopez, who is the head coach and also the offensive coordinator. He's got his plate full there. Peyton Ball's legs can get the job done. Don't ever shy away from that. Don't make things too complicated. Just run the ball with your quarterback and pick up the easy first down.
Exactly, Cameron. If the ground game's killing it, why change things up? Now, Bulldogs are going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Now, Ball handed it off. That'll be a gain of about 3 yards on the carry. And that
Max,
run right there was courtesy of running back Ryan Beltran for the Dogs.
Max, it looks like people are still trying to trickle in here to the stadium. When they opened the gates, almost immediately the play of game started. So people are still trying to find their seats here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. Hopefully the crowd will remain. I hope people didn't go home during that long delay.
Yeah, I certainly hope not, Cameron. We had suspected that this game might get pushed to tomorrow, but thankfully it didn't. All the fans can watch their hard-earned money worth. Now Paul's going to send it out, screen pass to the right side of the field. Is going to be pushed forward. I believe that was to Molina for about a 4-yard gain. Now let's talk a little bit about Ivan Molina, Cameron. I mean, we've been giving him credit for this entire pregame and these first couple minutes here. I don't think I can say anything bad about him. I mean, he has a fantastic vertical capability. He is very, very fast. He can break ankles like a madman.
That's right, Max. Ivan Molina is 5'7", only stands at 155 pounds, but yet he is the most electric player that you'll see on this Cruces offense tonight. Reminds me kind of like a Julian Edelman or Cole Beasley for the Dallas Cowboys and New England Patriots.
3rd and 5 for Cruces right now. Ball sends a man in motion. He's going to he's going to keep it. Play action pass. He is running up the right side of the field. He's going to send it down far to the middle, and that is going to be incomplete for the Cruces High Bulldogs. Pass initially intended for receiver number 84, David Melendrez.
Max, the Cruces fans aren't going to like that call, but that was a great no call by the official there. They wanted the pass interference. However, that ball was uncatchable. His route to the ball was not delayed or hindered by the defensive back. That was a good no call there by the officials, which will set up a Cruces 4th down.
Now we got 6:07 left to go in the first quarter, and like Cameron just said, that will set up a 4th and 5 situation for these Cruces High Bulldogs. And it looks like they will choose to do what their counterparts did on the last drive and just punt it.
Actually, Max, Peyton Ball is still out there.
It will be sent downfield. It's going to be tapped down past the 20-yard line. It's going to be received, pushing forward up the right side of the field. And that will down it just before the 20-yard line for the Cruces High Bulldogs. That was Isaac Vance once again on the punt return.
So, Max, we saw both first drives for these teams ended in punts. However, when it did come to 4th down, they kept their offense out there and actually alluded to the fact that they might want to go for it. A lot of trickeration here early on in this game by both coaches.
I think trickeration is the only way to put it, Cameron. I mean, you want to shake up, get into the heads of your opponents, Cameron. I mean, they could be expecting something very, very tricky in this intense rivalry game here. And that was Isaac Vance on the carry right there. Gain of about 1 yard looking like. Clock winding down, 5:45 left to go in this 4th quarter. And that was an only 1 yard carry, 2nd and 9. Once again, my name is Max Sanchez. I'm joined by my partner, Cameron Castillo. We are student commentators working for LCPS TV. That's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Mayfield Trojans here. Lachlan lined up in the shotgun, 2 receivers out to his left side. Box is pretty stacked. He's going to keep it, still pushing forward on the QB keeper. It looks like that's going to be for no gain, Cameron.
Interesting here, Max, early on by both offenses. The majority of the time we've seen them both go with a double tight end, a 2 tight end set to try and create running lanes there. And right there on that previous play, we saw Mayfield pull their left tackle and the tight end on that left side to try and create a running lane for that ball carrier. It proved unsuccessful on that play.
4:53 left to go in this first quarter. After that was a loss of a yard on Laughlin's run, so that will set up a 3rd and 10 for the Trojans. Laughlin's going to take it in the shotgun. Still keeping it up the left side of the field. He's run past the 20, the 30-yard line. That's a 1st down. He's still going at the 40, and he'll be sat down just past the Trojan 40-yard line. Now, Cameron, I think he certainly redeemed himself from that last play.
That's exactly right, Max, and that's something that is a product of maturity and poise in the pocket. He kept his eyes downfield for as long as he could on that play, and then once he knew that there was no possible option other than to take off with the ball, he found that wide open space in the middle of the field and took advantage of it for a first down.
Exactly, Cameron. You got to keep your eyes wide open and be opportunistic. Now Laughlin's going to take it once again in the shotgun. Hands it off. Still pushing forward. And once again, that was to Isaac Vance. And that will be a gain of about 7 yards on that carry.
A strong bruising run there by Isaac Vance, Max. Only stands at 5'8", weighs 160 pounds, but he can still pack a punch to those defensive players who try and tackle him.
It looks like that's going to be actually 5 yards on the carry. My bad. That'll set up a 2nd and 5 situation for Mayfield High School. 3:50 left to go in this first quarter. And they will have it on their own 40. They'll have it on their own 48-yard line. Laughlin lined up in the shotgun once again. He's going to hand it off. And Vance will push forward for a gain. It was looking like 2 yards.
Max, in response to the double tight end sets that we're seeing by this Mayfield Trojan offense, the Cruces defensive backs are playing up really close to the line of scrimmage. We saw right there, number 3, the defensive back, Gabe Quesada, get up real close to the line of scrimmage, and he had his eyes on Isaac Vance the entire time.
Very, very impressive, Cameron. This defense is certainly adapting, but not quick enough. And that will set up a 3rd and 1 situation now. Laughlin is going to take in the shotgun once again. And it will be handed off to Vance, who's pushing forward, and that should be a Trojan first down.
Actually, Max, I think it's going to be pretty close. I think it looked by the initial judgment by the line judge that it was a first down. Now they're moving the spot back a little bit. They might call for a measurement here.
Yeah, I think it might just be this will set up a inches yard, Cameron. Perhaps just barely. They're going to bring the chains out right now and see if they'll be able to move them for the Mayfield Trojans here.
It looks to me that they're going to get it by just the nose of the football, but I don't have the greatest eyesight in the world.
Me neither. One of the Mayfield players running back, trying to get something. It is very, very windy, Cameron. I mean, it has been whistling all day, and it's been quite a disturbance.
Horrible, Max. That was the hat of one of the chain gang members. Are you kidding me?
That's pretty funny right there, Cameron. Now we got 2:38 left to go in this first quarter. Mayfield got the first down by just a hair. That will set up a 1st and 10 now from the Cruces 48-yard line. Laughlin is going to take it in the shotgun once again. Box pretty stacked. The quarterback keeper heading up the left side of the field, and he will be tripped. And that was courtesy of Cruces number 8, A.J. Marquez.
Max, that was a great job by number 8, A.J. Marcus, of getting off his block, that strong block by the right tackle, and getting to the quarterback. Even if he wasn't able to get to Torrey Laughlin on that play, the Cruces defensive back was in the area and probably would have made a tackle, but still a heads-up play with good effort by number 8, A.J. Marquez.
Cameron, and overall the play calling has been quite the opposite of what we had initially expected, actually. I mean, it's been basically ground game with none in the air. Now, there are several factors that could be contributing to that, one being, of course, the terrible weather here at Aggie Memorial and in the city of Las Cruces. Although, I mean, Cameron, like you love to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's exactly right, Max. Just keep sticking with what got you here. However, like you said, this wind is the worst I have ever seen it in November in Las Cruces. It is just horrible. It's been like this since 3 o'clock in the morning, and it shows no signs of letting up. These goalposts are swinging back and forth in the wind, and as we said during our pregame, which seemed like it was yesterday, number 3 for Cruces, the kicker, Gabe Quesada, is 43 for 44 on the year on extra points, which is pretty good as we've seen for a high school kicker. But tonight, if the kicking game ever has to be a factor for either one of these teams, the wind could play a factor in whether or not they make or miss that kick.
And now, Cameron, I just like, since you were talking about the kicking game, let's flash back a bit here to the 2013 state championship between Cruces and Mayfield right here in this stadium. And that block tick is what won the game.
That's exactly right, Max. Special teams are so important. coaches sometimes don't emphasize them a whole lot, but these two coaches, Mark Lopez and Michael Bradley, do recognize the value and significance of special teams and how that can play out on the field. They train their guys up well, and tonight these elements could affect them. I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Me too, Cameron. They certainly should. I mean, particularly at the high school level, sometimes you're just going to have unfortunate mistakes. And, I mean, we've seen all year turnovers are major at every level, but particularly right here under the Friday Night Lights. Now we have 2:15 left to go in this first quarter right now. Some people are trickling in, and a couple are leaving. The one seems to be pretty insane down there. And then I just like to give one more shout out to our sponsors, Corner Deli. Mark down there, he's a huge Trojan fan. So all of you Mayfield High School students can head down there and catch a bite to eat after this game. And then Vince at Lorenzo's, he'll hook you up with some awesome pizza if you don't want to see any of the Trojan fans over at Corner Deli.
At Lorenzo's, Max.
No.
Vince is from Lorenzo's.
I said Vince is from Lorenzo's. We good. 2:15 left to go in this first quarter.
Max, I'm confused.
Once
again, we're seeing both teams head into the locker room, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this due to the wind, Cameron? Was there another lightning delay? I'm not quite sure. Now, Cameron, it sounds like there is going to be one more lightning delay, which is upsetting to say the least for both of us and everyone here at Aggie Memorial.
Are you kidding me, Max? Everyone had just gotten settled in. I don't know why Mother Nature hates us tonight. We're just trying to have some fun, watch a great rivalry game that is the second greatest rivalry in the nation. Just let up for a second, Mother Nature, man. We want to watch some football.
Exactly. 3 hours, that's all it takes. We'll get it in, then you can terrorize us however much you want.
So, Max, I'm interested to see what comes of this. I know during the intermission we're up here in the press box and we heard rumblings of potentially rescheduling the game to tomorrow at the Field of Dreams. There would, under any other circumstance, have the game here at Aggie Memorial Stadium to keep with tradition. However, the Tournament of Bands competition is here at Aggie Memorial tomorrow from 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, so they can't get a game in. Now, at the Field of Dreams, it could be a potential conflict because they use the stadium every year for this game, and 28,000 people show up. The Field of Dreams only seats 12,000 people. So, Max, I really hope that this is the last lightning delay we see tonight, and they can get this game off by the end of this day.
Me too, Cameron, but to be completely honest, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we'll see what the Activities Association decides to do.
Max, I do want to remind the viewers at home of one more thing as we begin this 30-minute lightning delay. The selection show put on by the New Mexico Activities Association for the Class 6A playoff bracket is tomorrow night. And the outcome of this game does have bearing on how the seeds will play out. Cruces will likely lock down a third seed, but they still need to beat the Mayfield Trojans, while Mayfield has snuck into playoff consideration, but where they are seated does depend upon this game.
Exactly, Cameron. It will be very crucial, which is why it's even more crucial that we get this game off. I mean, it's very upsetting for everyone here. I mean, they paid their money. They came to see a fantastic rivalry, one that's been going on for 50 years now. This is the 50th anniversary of this Bulldog-Trojan rivalry, and it's truly upsetting, Cameron.
That's exactly right, Max. Hopefully they can get this game on, but for now, I just want all the people in the stadium to do what they're told, not cause any conflicts, and get out of the stadium before someone gets hurt or worse.
Exactly, Cameron. I hope they're all very careful by exiting, and we're all here in good fun for sports, so make sure nothing bad takes place.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to remind you that Max and I will be keeping you updated throughout the game and throughout this horrible lightning delay as to what will be happening regarding the future of this game.
Now, right now, currently, it's 2nd and 15 left to go in this first quarter right now.
So
things are getting pretty dang hectic.
With 2:15 left to go in the first quarter, Max, at the beginning of this 30-minute lightning delay, I think we're going to have to take a break real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we will notify you if anything changes, but for now, we are under a 30-minute lightning delay, and per district policy, if there is lightning within 10 miles, a 10-mile radius of Aggie Memorial Stadium, play must be stopped for a minimum a minimum of 30 minutes. And in this time period, if there's another lightning strike close by, that 30-minute clock will reset.
That'll do it for us right now. We'll get back to you with more updated information on the weather situation.
Or head to the Pan American Center practice gym. end it. We will not try to resume the game this evening. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Aggie Memorial Stadium. We have just confirmed with LCPS administration that tonight's game between Las Cruces and Mayfield has been canceled due to inclement weather and will not be rescheduled. It won't be rescheduled tonight because they do not want to put the players at any unnecessary risk that they might take if they were to retake the field tonight. And with the game not being played, it doesn't affect any seeding or any bracketing in relation to the 6A playoffs tonight. Once again, we're very sorry that this unfortunate situation happened. Hopefully next year we're not faced with the same situation. And with that, from Max Sanchez, I'm Cameron Castillo signing off.